Hey everybody, happy October. Can't believe we're already here yet. It's October 8th. We're here at PDS Connect. My name is Kyle Ward. I'm with Thales Group. My responsibilities include channel account manager for the western half of the US, so I interact with the good folks at PDS quite often. I'm here today to do two things: give you a quick overview or reminder of who we are at Thales, tell you about SafeNet Trusted Access, and our other product, Cipher Trust Data Security Platform, which is brand new. So without further ado, that's the agenda that I just talked about. Again, intro, overview of SafeNet Trusted Access, and then the overview of our Cipher Trust Data Security Platform. Who are we at Thales? Some of you know us, some of you don't. Quick refresher and education for those who do not. 80,000 employees around the world. We're the combination of formerly Gemalto. Thales purchased us about a year and a half ago on April 1st, 2019 is when the transaction closed. We're now a big company, $19 billion in revenue and $1 billion in self-funded R&D. We're represented in 68 countries around the world as well. So we are a large force to be reckoned with. Really, what do we do here at Thales? We protect the entire digital lifecycle. Everything from identity and access management over to data protection, all the way down to the cryptographic account detection. Sorry, that's a bit of a mouthful. So we really covered all. There's a lot of specialized players out there. We're not one of them. So what really do we want to go after today? We want to talk about how, from an access management perspective, traditional security is no longer sufficient, right? You've got breaches after breaches. We hear them in the news all the time. These are some data points that support that. Across all industries, whether it be banking all the way down to the public sector, the cost of cybercrime is rising. And this is just what we know about and what's reported. So I think we can all safely assume that it's more extensive than even what is reported in this case to the European Union. What are the main causes of cyber threats? One, identity theft, compromised credentials, a password. Somebody has some way somehow to get into any one of your consumer or business-based accounts. And once they're in, that's when they can really cause the damage, because they can do a number on our organizations, both financially and reputational-wise, through accessing unencrypted data. So let's talk about the access management piece. SafeNet Trusted Access is a brand we've had for a while. And what we do, we help you secure access to the most common apps that you know. Everything from Office 365, Salesforce, Oracle, of course, everybody's favorite, what everybody's talking about nowadays, AWS, to many more, including bring your own apps. We integrate in a SAML 2.0 through a generic wizard, so make it easy to add apps that you either buy from a vendor or you grow in-house for some customized business needs. Application management's very simple with us. We don't have a big integration guide. Why? Because we've got a wizard. It makes it simple. Makes your time to value as close to zero as possible. And again, you can bring your own apps with us as well. We don't require that you only have commercial grade apps or commercial build apps that you purchased. This is an example. This photo in front of you, or the screenshot in front of you rather, is what our generic wizard looks like. You can see it's got a lot of common names out there of apps that you probably use or certainly are familiar with. This gives an example of how quickly you can point and click, and with 6 to 8 clicks you can add on a new application to tie into SafeNet Trusted Access to, again, further manage your cloud transformation securely and effectively. We also provide scenario-based policy enforcement. Think of stepped-up security privileges. Who are you? What are you doing here? Do you have the credentials and the rights and privileges necessary to access certain applications under the right circumstances? Whether you are on a trusted network or whether you are traveling on business, to be able to have that contextual authorization and permissions enforced by SafeNet Trusted Access is going to be very beneficial. I mentioned a moment ago, who are you? What are you doing here? Essentially is what we ask. Who? We ask that a lot. Are you an IT admin? Are you just a standard user like a guy like myself? Or are you an executive that's sitting in the C-suite? What are the scenarios in place that allow individuals access to applications, whether they be whether they be in a geofence, that of course means traveling, whether they have the permissions to access sensitive data, think Salesforce, think Oracle Financials, for instance. We take all of that into account and allow the customer to set up a risk-based scenario. Next up, we're talking about adaptive and contextual attributes for STA. We do that via the network, where we've got IP ranges, whether they're either whitelisted or blacklisted. Your operating system, are you coming at us from a mobile device such as your iOS? Or are you coming at us from an Android device? Either way, we take the context-based scenario in play. And then we've got probably our strongest suit is our authentication capabilities. Everything from traditional passwords, which we all know really don't work that well anymore, to OTP push, to SMS, to email, to the pattern-based authentication. Some of you are familiar with that 5x5 grid you've probably seen on your Android phone, where you can choose the pattern, though the numbers change each and every time. So it's not a password, it is a pattern-based one. Growing in popularity a lot, and very much so another example of passwordless authentication, which we offer, along with PKI, which we're the only one that does that, by the way. We also integrate with Windows authentication for those of you who have made significant investments in the Microsoft stack, particularly with ADFS and Azure AD. We integrate. We make that single sign-on that they provide stronger, better, more relevant, and seamless to the end customer. And I mentioned earlier, PKI certificate-based authentication. That's us. When you think of PKI, I want you to think of Thales. I want you to think of SafeNet Trusted Access, because we help enforce that high level of assurance across all the web apps. And then we do it through a smart single sign-on, right? Again, we talked earlier about contextual-based authentication. Sign in once, but still operating the idea of zero trust. Who are you? Under what context are you here? Why are you getting access to the application? Just to make sure the right people have access to the right apps in the right circumstances. While you can use our central portal pictured here, you don't have to use the portal. All these applications listed below as an example can be listed as a bookmark, but the idea is that it can be here and can be customized at the whim of a user or an admin. And speaking of customizable, this is a customizable SaaS service, right? It's not a traditional, obviously, on-prem investment. It is a service. You can customize it and do your screenshot, your background any way you want. You can put portal URLs. You could put a company graphic on there. You can announce an important thing such as don't forget to sign up for your benefits this year. You name it, you can do it. Your partner like PDS can help you walk through that process, by the way. And then for the UIT admins out there, this is really important. It's a dashboard. It says, who's doing what? Do I have a template to set up a report? How can I figure out what's going on? How can I prove my compliance? How can I essentially justify my existence and my job to make sure that I'm showing everybody that the compliance is where it needs to be and that we reacted appropriately? And then again, as a continuation of that, these reports are fully automated authentication reports. We have a number of templates. We've got logs, can capture all the activity to figure out who was doing what and where, and then most importantly, what you did as an admin to help address the situation before it got out of hand. And finally, when you think of us, I want you to think of some unique value propositions. We help prevent breaches. We're going to help you enable secure cloud transformation, whether you're doing it all at once or you're doing it over time and very, very diligent about it. We also help you simplify that compliance to make sure that, again, the right people have access to the right applications and the right data under the right circumstances. Okay, next up, I want to talk to you about our Cipher Trust data security platform. It's brand new. It's what you're going to see. It is a combination of several products. We've put it all in a different platform, made it in the cloud, and into the business. So I want you to think about us for encryption and key management and all those very complex things to make sure that if the bad guys do get in, your data is encrypted and protected and the damage is minimized. So first overall, implemented enterprise security as far as the market is concerned, it's really viewed as very complex. There's a lot of data growth, 175 zettabytes. That's a lot, right? Involving compliance requirements, there's 1,800 global privacy laws from the European Union to what you find throughout North America. Operational complexity is another issue for sure. A lot of people don't know where to begin, what to do. And then there's rapidly increasing data breaches. Why? There's a lot of data out there and there's a lot of money to be made and chaos to cause. Data privacy and data security, they're obviously going to go together. But what's the number one barrier? Nobody knows where to discover the sensitive data. There's so many different departments, et cetera. Nobody knows what's really important and where to find it. That means that companies are increasingly unable to analyze all the data they collect, and that organizations, if you really ask them, they're going to say encryption is the top tool needed to meet requirements like GDPR. Recall earlier, identity theft is going to happen, but the real damage is done because data isn't encrypted and fully protected. It's no good if you let somebody inside the bank and give them the key to the vault, but if you protect those keys, you can really minimize the impact to your business. So what do we do here when we say data privacy and data security go together? Think about it this way. First, you got to discover it, what's important, you got to protect it, and then you got to control access to it, no matter what. That's what we can help you do. So Cipher Trust data security, really you've got, it's next, as we say, it's next generation data discovery and protection in one platform. So instead of having a combination of products, you've got one platform that addresses everything from your encryption, tokenization, key management, access control, audit logs, and monitoring it. And again, reporting and monitoring is obviously a big, important part of what we're trying to help you with, our customers and our partners. What are the benefits and features? Well, first of all, we help you simplify data security and accelerate time to compliance. That time to value needs to be as close to zero as possible. We think this platform helps you accomplish that. We help you achieve cloud security, and most importantly, over multi-cloud support. So whether you are an all Azure shop or an all AWS or Google or IBM, or you got a multi-cloud approach, it doesn't matter. We can help you with that. We help you deliver a high level of assurance as well. We've got FIP certifications, and we've got the validated agents to go along with that. And then our data-centric security, it's delivered by Cipher Trust, right? Everything from discovery, encryption and tokenization, and key management. Key management is especially critical because if there is a breach and you are really controlling the keys, you're really controlling everything because you're making sure that nobody has access or the ability to unlock that encrypted data. And then our mitigation of product convergence over here. So the converged product names, I mentioned earlier that the platform is really a convergence, if you will, just one single platform with a number of different products are. Well, here they are. Everything from Cipher Trust Data Discovery and Classification, Cipher Trust Manager, Cipher Trust Enterprise and Cloud Key Manager, the Transparent Encryption, the Luna and Cloud HSMs, and the Cipher Trust Developer Suite. Look, I'm all in here, all in one. And you can do a lot with Cipher Trust Manager now. It's true. You've got the connector coverage, the DSM agent coverage, and a lot of you are going to recognize these names from Metric. Some of you are familiar with that. And you're going to recognize some of the old SafeNet tokenization names in here. So what we just delivered in Q3, actually, very end of this last quarter, was the application data protection and transparent encryption as well that encrypts data from the file to the folder level. And then here are the platforms we want to go over here. So formerly known as Next Generation Key Secure is now Cipher Trust Manager. And some use cases are supported, big names you know, Oracle, very familiar name, Azure 365, Salesforce, AWS. And we also merge with also work a lot with a lot of big vendors such as Dell and Nutanix. And really the top reasons to choose Cipher Trust Manager for data protection needs, simplified management, cloud enhancements, again, multi-cloud support or single cloud support, whatever customer chooses, so it's flexible and agile, security and crypto. There's multi-tenancy support already built in, and there's options to integrate with major cloud providers as well, because it's that HSM as a service piece, as we like to call it. And then Cipher Trust data discovery and classification here. Cloud storage databases, files on one side, and then the reporting and compliance along with the dashboards as part of that reporting and compliance are merging into one for that data discovery and classification piece. And then we help simplify cloud management with Cipher Trust Cloud Key Manager. Again, FIPS compliance we talked about, centralizing multi-cloud and hybrid. So even if you've got on-prem needs as well still, your cloud transformation isn't complete, but you're still a work in progress, we can support that as well. Reporting, so you can see what's going on and monitoring it. And then we're going to support everything from identity as a service to platform as a service, Azure, everything in the Azure Stack, AWS, of course, IBM Cloud. These are just examples of some. And then some of the data platform products. You can see where we've gone from metric transparent encryption to the Cipher Trust brand name. CT is rebranded, obviously, in the newer version of for transparent encryption. We just launched this last quarter in the quarter, so you guys are one of the first to hear about this at all. And then our suite, everything from, again, what does it do here? What does the Encryption Suite do? Everything from transparent encryption all the way over to transparent encryption for SAP HANA. So we really address a lot of use cases surrounding the hardware that you know, and including Teradata, which you can see on the screen as well. Strong use case associated with Teradata. And then we help protect, for those protect file customers, you do have a path to upgrade to some benefits on there. You can upgrade to CTE, and the upgrade benefits come with some better performance. The SAP HANA support is outlined previously, container security, and then you get the native AWS S3 protection as well. And some additions and extensions you can see here: zero downtime to deployment, again, zero time to value, or close to zero as possible for the user to make that investment. Policy-based encryption, all the way over to integrations with Teradata, right? High performance encryption solutions for Teradata database. For those of you that have those strong names, such as Teradata customers, I think that should ring pretty popular with you all. And then app layer convergence as well. And then some of the Cipher Trust Developer Suite benefits for their customers. What you're going to find is we've got a long list of integration partners. As you can imagine, I've been harping on that a lot in these last few minutes. You're going to see that that really rings true with us as well. I only listed a portion of who we integrate with. The list is much, much longer than that. For any questions on that, be sure to contact PDS and I can help you through that process. And then the database security product coverage as well. A lot of you are going to remember SafeNet Protect DB. That's now the Cipher Trust database product, or part of the database suite. And some of the benefits for the customers: key management solutions, as I mentioned before, is critical. And we have this implemented at the user-defined level as well. And quickly here, folks, because we're getting low on time, I'm going to walk through with you everything on here that we have out here. The rebranded name, just take a quick look at this. And our launch date, some happened in September, some back in April. Some of the names that you know. And folks, that's all I've got today. So I just want to say thanks a lot for your time. I hope you enjoy PDS Connect. I wish we could all see each other in person like we did last year in Milwaukee, but we encourage you to come visit our virtual booth at Thales. There'll be a number of us there to answer any of your questions. We've got some great links and we've got some collateral for you. Looking forward to seeing you. Thanks very much. Have a great day.